tomorrow, and we're going to put it behind us. And we've got the first half of our season completed. And the facts are right now we're 5-1. We've played 3 top 20 teams away from home, and we're 5-1. We have a week off, and it's a much-needed week off. I think the timing right now is good, and we're going to self-evaluate. We're going to get a head start on our next opponent and get healthier, and then work on improving our execution this next week. Looking at the second half, and we can big picture it right now. I mean, we're looking at playing 3 of the top 5 teams in the country, one of those being on the road. So great opportunities for this team. Like I said, we're feeling tough today. Like I said, tough loss, but we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll turn the page. And
welcome everyone to the newly named D&D podcast, because somebody already took On Point. I found out last week that somebody already took On Point, so if you're watching the person who has On Point, I'm sorry. But it's now D&D podcast. I just made a YouTube channel for D&D podcast, so you can subscribe to us there, and I'll have this video uploaded. But we just heard what Gus Malzahn said after the Florida loss. And he said we're 5-1 and we're ready to bounce back. So
all those Auburn fans out there, calm down.
Yeah, I know. It was tough for me to watch last week. I mean, they couldn't convert a third down. They couldn't get a first down. I mean, it was just tough. Bo Nix was just thrown all over the field, looks like.
He looked rattled out there, dude.
Yeah, and Gus looked rattled on the sideline. So that was just something. You can't give that kind of body language to your freshman quarterback. What did you see from Florida, though?
Defense. That's what I saw. That's what I saw from Florida. Straight defense, which I knew it was going to be of a defensive game, but I didn't expect that on both sides of the football. That was some really good defense played on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Dan Mullen pulled those little wrinkles.
Yeah,
like
he
the
did.
Fake punt, and he tried to do that twice or 3 times.
Yeah, he did that.
And Derek Brown, for Auburn, he was trying to win that ball game by himself. But defense does win games, but they can't do it all.
I was rooting for him. I thought he was going to take one back to the house. I was really rooting for him.
Yeah, if the offense can't score, somebody got to score. It was just a tough day. I couldn't watch it. I watched about half.
I mean, Florida, they did enough to win. I'm just going to say that. Auburn had chances to win, but Florida did enough to win.
And Bo Nix knows that. I mean, he took total responsibility for. And later on in the week, Gus said that he was responsible too, which I'm surprised with that.
In my opinion, just split the blame 50-50. Gus could have did a better job coaching, and Bo definitely could have did a better job throwing the ball.
Right, which, I mean, they got in there and they thought it was just, I guess they thought it was going to be easy. I think they was going to be steamrolling over Florida, I guess. That's just what I saw.
They should have ran the ball, in my opinion.
But yeah, they did. They didn't run the ball till second half, and then having Booby Whitlow out for 4 weeks isn't going to help at all. Leading rusher.
So practically they become a passing team now, because I don't think Gus trusts his running backs at all.
I mean, you got Cam Martin, DJ Williams, and I guess Schwartz is going to be running some jet sweeps. So I mean, he says he's going to get Anthony Schwartz out there.
I mean, well, they got a bye week to figure this stuff out. So
then when Arkansas comes into town, my bad. When they go to Arkansas, because they got like 4 straight road games, and then 5 straight home games in the season.
Well.
And they got to go to LSU in 2 weeks.
Well,
and that's another one.
It's a blueprint on Bo Nix. That's all I got to say. It is a blueprint out there on Bo Nix. And all the teams, just watch Florida. Just watch Florida. Duplicate it. If you can't, I'm sorry. But if you're Arkansas, just duplicate it however you're going to do it.
I mean, and when Bo gets a few more years under his belt, he's gonna be fine.
So you think he's gonna be there for all 4 years?
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, he's not leaving.
so you think he's
This is what school he wanted to go to. He
I
wanted
mean-
this ever since Cam Newton was there. When they showed all them baby pictures, him throwing the football.
Well, they show his dad a lot, beating Florida and Alabama.
Oh yeah,
So
because a lot of older Alabama fans said that they didn't like Patrick Nix because he just threw all over Alabama, and I'm not that old, so I don't know. So, but let's talk about Tennessee and
Really,
their new quarterback,
they look good, ladies and
Brian
gentlemen,
Meyer,
for
about
10 seconds. They looked good for 10 seconds, and then after those 10 seconds, Georgia showed up.
But is he the future of Tennessee football, Brian Meyer, that freshman, true freshman, whatever he is? I mean,
In my opinion,
they looked like they had a spark out there.
well, I mean, go with him in camp. Make him the starting quarterback. In my opinion, just make him the starting
That's
quarterback.
coaching. That's Jeremy Pruitt's fault, and that guy from Georgia,
Well,
the
I mean,
offensive coordinator.
I mean, look. I mean, Pruitt. His profession is defense, not offense. And he came from Alabama, so you would think Tennessee have a defense. But for 10 seconds, they did. For 10 seconds, they had a defense for about 10 seconds. 10 seconds, and then that's why I don't like talking about Tennessee. Don't get. I'm done talking about Tennessee.
A lot of people have been saying that Georgia is second half team. Now,
But to me, have you seen
ever
it?
since Kirby Smart's been there,
But
second half.
you know what? To these Georgia fans, and I say this a lot to Dallas, if Georgia don't win a national championship under Kirby Smart, they're not going to win a national championship. That's
And
just the bottom line.
this is what everyone else has been saying. I've been listening to this, a lot of podcasts, and they said, Georgia fans are wanting this national championship to hurry up and come to Georgia.
But
With Kirby Smart being there, they think it's going to be Alabama just hand it to us.
you can't be a second half team. You gotta put together You gotta put together what?
4 quarters.
4 quarters of good.
60 minutes of
You
football.
can't be a second half team. Want to get down 27 to nothing,
Which they have been. You saw it in 2017 when Auburn blew them out. 45 to whatever.
You know he had to get an Auburn quote.
Like, they were down that whole game. And then, you saw it with them. You also saw these other teams that are like that, like LSU. They were up on LSU, and their slow, methodical offense.
They finally got on
LSU.
LSU finally got on.
We're going to talk about them later. But, let's move on and talk about the college football playoff.
Man, I wish I would have saw the pregame. We had a debate about this. Go ahead.
Which, I've saw a lot of people on ESPN, their picks, they want 4 SEC teams in the playoff.
Ain't gonna happen.
The committee don't want that to happen, I know. They might put 2 in there. They might put 3 in there, but not all 4. But is it going to be an SEC playoff in 2019?
No.
Like, is this going to be an SEC playoff?
It's gonna be a 2-loss SEC team in the playoff, and so I'm saying it's gonna be 2 SEC teams because the committee gonna give 2 qualifying bids, and then you got the 2
Because
SEC teams.
whoever's loser of the winner of the SEC championship,
all
loser
that.
of the SEC championship, or whoever lost to.
Whoever wins the SEC automatically gets a.
And then,
automatically.
So, if Auburn keeps winning, and they lose to Alabama, or if Alabama loses to Auburn,
they have to have 2 losses.
or however they're going to do that. Florida, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Auburn.
Those are the 4, but they don't look at the eye test. I told you guys in the last. I look at the eye test.
But see, the old BCS, they used to do that.
I mean,
when they had the BCS playoff. But now this committee, we don't.
Yeah, this
We
committee
really don't.
shake it.
Really, whoever beats Alabama, they just automatically put them at 1.
But that shouldn't even be the case, in my opinion. Because if you beat Alabama, you shouldn't be 1.
Because Alabama is the standard in the playoff race. Because they've been there
Well,
all
I mean, it's
5 years. that the playoffs been there.
It has been called the Alabama Invitational, so yeah, I mean, they might as
Shannon
well.
Sharp, put us on ESPN for that one because he's the one that said that. I guess we can just take a break now for a little bit and then let that play. So, anyway, let's talk about Alabama. Let's talk about Alabama first, and then we'll talk about the matchup on Saturday. So,
I'm gonna defer to the Auburn man.
okay, so is this team complete at this point in the season?
No, they're not complete, not yet, because I think, to me, there's holes, and I'm an Alabama fan, but there's holes, and offensively, they're there. I need to see more. I like the RPO, but I would like to see Alabama get back to running the football just a little bit more. They're throwing on the RPO is great, but run the ball a little bit more. And I think defensively, they're coming. They're coming, but they're not there yet. They're not complete. No, they're not complete.
Is Najee Harris, is he a power runner like Mark Ingram, or is he a fast runner like TJ Yeldon? Is he that type of running back?
He can be. He just got to get more touches. He got to get more touches. Like, if a team can stop Alabama from throwing the ball, that's when you can really find out about Najee Harris. Can he run the football? Right now, the passing game for Alabama, that is stupid crazy. So, in my opinion,
I think that's Lane Kiffin's fault. When Lane Kiffin was there, he wanted to pass all the time.
yeah, but at that time we had Jalen Hurts. So, and then I feel like if we would have had like Jim McElwain, one of the old, I think we'll be more of a run team with Tula.
But let's talk about their matchup on Saturday against Texas A&M on CBS. Top 25 team, Alabama #1. Can Texas A&M's defense stop Alabama? Can they do something? I mean, is that just
The
what do you
defense,
think?
the defense is gonna have to win the game because Kelly Munn, he can't make the throws. That's if you watch Texas A&M has been in every game. They were practically been one touchdown away from changing a game.
Every game, Arkansas game, Auburn game.
Kelly Munn cannot make the throws. He's not a Jimbo Fisher type of quarterback. He didn't recruit that man. That was Kevin Sumlin. He can't make the throws. He just can't. That's just the bottom line.
I mean, they had a defense when the season started, but we don't know what happened to it. It's gone. So,
and I like Jimbo Fisher. I like Jimbo, but that's not his quarterback.
okay, let's talk about Tua. Is Tua a Heisman candidate?
Ooh.
Does he have the swagger? Does he have the talent to win a Heisman Trophy at Alabama?
You know what? If I was a voter, which I'm not a voter, but if I was a voter, to me, for whoever's all in the Heisman Trophy, talk about Tula, to me, I need to see a big game. I'm talking about not
All 4 quarters. He needs to play all 4 quarters, not just throw 6 touchdowns and sit the bench the rest of the game. I mean, that's where you get last year when they played Clemson, and Clemson just came in there and just blowout.
I mean, I need to see Alabama when Tula's behind a touchdown, down 3 points. to really
You
see.
you never really saw it like, and if they were, the defense brought them back until it got back on the field. I mean, when you saw it in LSU game last year, and the SEC championship last year, Jalen Hurts
Yeah,
won.
Jalen won that.
Jalen did.
Jalen got the credit for that one.
So, like I said again, can this team win a national championship? With the lack of running backs, with the lack of Tua playing all 4 quarters.
Well, you hope by the end of the year they're clicking on all cylinders. I'm gonna say yes, not because I'm an Alabama fan. I'm saying that if Alabama is clicking on all cylinders, they can win a national championship.
I've heard a lot of people tell me that it's going to be tough for anybody in the SEC to go undefeated this year. With everybody who's playing everybody, LSU, Florida, Alabama, LSU, Auburn, LSU, Alabama, Auburn.
But can you count LSU though? Because for years everybody's been talking about LSU's defense, and finally they woke up and said, "Well, we need an offense." So I mean, this is to me the first time in a while that I've seen LSU been this good on both sides of the ball.
Which, I mean...
So can you really say, I mean, I understand Georgia. Florida kind of fell off for a little bit.
It's kind of the same old for LSU. Same offense, same defense.
I mean...
Joe Burrow, I mean,
he came out of nowhere.
He's on fire.
Joe, that
Kirk Herbstreit called him Joe Brady.
That kid is...
Called him Joe Brady. But...
That kid on fire.
Because they're really high on LSU over there on ESPN. Kirk Herbstreit's really like...
Fire.
Every time you mention it.
Oh
They're not even talking about Auburn anymore. Like, ESPN has dropped them out of the... Really? I mean, one game and they drop Auburn out, but that's expected. And then if Auburn does have a comeback season, they won't talk about Auburn again. But that's a rant for ESPN, not me. Okay. Well, we're just going to go straight into our game of the week, which is, of course, LSU, Florida. LSU plays Florida for their homecoming this time on ESPN, primetime. You got the 2 quarterbacks. You got Joe Burrow. You got Kyle Trask. Trask came back from a sprain during the Auburn game and just lights out. LaMichael P. Ryan, 88-yard touchdown. He said, up yours, Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I bet Gus wish he had that recruit back.
Which I had a few words to say about that. I don't know why Gus would tell a recruit that he's not fast enough to be in the SEC.
And scored a winning touchdown.
I wouldn't say that. The man's fast. If the man can run, I'm putting him on my team. That's where me and Gus Malzahn have differences. I mean,
hey, he's ranting about Gus.
He's not gonna hire me as offense.
He need to rant.
I'm not gonna rant.
He ranting on Gus.
I'm not gonna rant right now because, we got time limit. But so, you think Joe Burrow, does he do his thing Saturday, or you think Kyle Trask does his thing?
Joe Burrow is on fire. That's all I can look. Kyle Trask is good, but Joe Burrow on fire. Whoever they offensive coordinator down there in LSU, he's doing a hell of a job. But he ain't played a defense like this. Okay? All these LSU fans, you finna play a defense now. So we finna find out how good your team really is. Florida can't run the ball. Have I seen LSU run the ball this year? Have you seen them run the ball this year?
Leonard Fournette's brother left. Whoever they had at running back, they're pretty. And if you look at their run stats, they're up there. Up there, close to Auburn.
They spread them out now. Something new.
Which I didn't know this. Talk the other day. Missouri statistically had the best defense in the SEC this year.
We talking about Missouri now.
But
Missouri.
But all that with Kelly Bryant,
he should have went to Tennessee.
Which he's okay. He's gonna play next week. What do you think about Florida's quarterback? I mean, both of them. They're playing both of them on Saturday.
You know what? Kyle Trask, he's a tough guy. He proved he's a tough guy. I like him. I mean, what's not to like about Florida? I mean, I still got them beating Georgia, so it's gonna be a good game. I wish this game was on CBS than the Alabama A&M game. I wish they could just switch spots, in my opinion. But I'm gonna watch this game because this, like I said, this is another game.
Oh yeah, the other game that's on CBS is Georgia and South Carolina. I forgot. They've been putting them on there for.
Really? They gonna do best champ like that?
I don't know.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Best champ.
Well, before we pick the game, what is your keys to the game for LSU to win this?
Quarterback. He gonna have to make some throws, some really good throws. I think Florida, they rattled Bo Nix. I think he can be rattled too. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Todd Grantham. He's forgot about. Like all those years he was at with Mark Richt in Georgia, and they won some ball games there. But Todd Grantham's a really good defensive coordinator. So I'm gonna give a shout out to him.
I think Florida, they have to give a little bit more production on offense in this game because they're playing LSU. I mean, last Saturday was sloppy from both teams. Anybody could have won that ball game.
I mean, true, but sometimes in football, like sometimes enough can win your football.
I know, but sloppy wins once you get into November.
Okay.
Once you get into playoff time, bowl games. I mean, if you're playing a playoff game and you're playing sloppy against Clemson,
the way Clemson's been playing,
or Georgia, even if you meet Georgia again in the playoff for a championship,
Georgia just talking about they need to open up the playbook.
I know, because sloppy play.
But we all know
you determine from champions to regular season, and then when playoff time comes, that's when you really turn it on. But
in my opinion, I think I'm different. I know where you're coming from. I feel like sometimes, in me, you just got to get hot at the right time. That's just what I think. You just got to get hot at the right time.
We saw in the past. I mean, multiple teams have done it.
If you get hot at the right time, when you in it,
win all the games, win out, go. But who do you have winning? I only have a score picked.
I'm taking Florida. I picked against them last week.
At night? No, okay, it's at 2:30. My bad. But it's gonna go into the night.
You know what? Florida. I'm taking Florida.
Score? No score?
No, I'm not picking
no score. He don't like picking scores.
I don't like to pick scores.
I'm picking LSU, and I'm picking a score of 33-24.
You know why he's doing that, right, ladies and gentlemen?
33-24.
I'm taking Florida.
I mean,
I'm taking Florida.
Ed probably had this. You know, you can't understand the man when he talks, but he's had this circled and might go into overtime. Who knows?
It could. I want it to.
Might go 33-24. Might go 9-6. Who knows?
9-6 game.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much all we got for this episode. You know.
I have a question.
You got a question?
For everybody that watched the show.
Comment down below the answer.
Give me your 2 lost team from the ACC that you think will make the playoffs. That's my question.
Comment down below right now. And if you comment, maybe your team will be the 2-loss SEC team that goes to the playoff. Who knows? It might work. It might not work. My pick's Auburn. What's your pick? 2-loss team.
I probably have to go with Auburn. I can
They
see
gotta win
if they play right.
Bo Nix, he's got to turn that level to 1,000, which he already said he was going to. So, we're gonna have, and new Gus is gonna ride in there on his motorcycle and burning the cities down and pumping
Gus.
iron, and he's gonna be back. New Gus is gonna be back next week. New Gus.
One last thing though, going back to the first thing, like I feel like Gus was saying, I think Bo's got to understand, like he's gonna have to figure this stuff out. Like if he wants to play on Sundays, he's gonna have to figure this stuff out. Cause some of the stuff that he did was like he looking off for safety. Like all I have to do is look him off and throw the opposite direction. So I mean, he's gonna have to figure some of this stuff out as well.
So I mean,
all these quarterbacks do though, not just him. All of them have to figure this stuff out.
right.
Tula, Burrow,
Which,
Trask, all of them.
I mean, just comment hashtag new Gus in the comments. I mean, let's just see how many comments we can get, and just comment your favorite team. And I got a new D&D podcast YouTube channel made. This is where the videos are going to be. Just subscribe to there. You can watch the old video on my YouTube channel. I'll have that link down there. I'll have the link to the podcast on Anchor. It'll be up soon. And if you like more, just, subscribe, like, share,
Yes.
whatever, and just, we'll see you soon.